Hello, my students. I'm your biology teacher, Chico Govins. Our topic today is biodiversity. Here are our learning standards. Number one, synthesize the concept of biodiversity based on diversity of ecosystems, species, and genetics. Number two, describe the meaning of phylogenetic tree. Describe the main feature of organism in each kingdoms. And number three, justify the importance of biodiversity on the environments and humans. Concept of biodiversity. Biodiversity can be divided into three types: genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecosystem diversity. Okay, what is genetic diversity? Diversity of gene within a species. Species diversity is diversity among species in ecosystems. Ecosystem diversity is diversity of a habitat in a given unit area. Genetic diversity. Genetic diversity refers to the diversity within a species. The greater the genetic diversity, the higher is the chance of a long-term survival. Look at these diagrams. In human beings, for example, the huge variety of people faces reflect each person's genetic individuality. Okay, type of hair, type of skin, type of earlobes, type of eyes, okay, color of eyes, can make the human being different from each other. Differences in genes are due to individual isolations and adaptations to different environments. No two individuals of the same species are identical. An example is for paddy. There are many varieties of cultivated rice all over the world because of the combinations of different genes, variety of genes. Okay. Species diversity. Species diversity refers to the variation and variability of organisms on Earth. Okay, look at these diagrams. There are different types of species of flower and different types species of insects. Example, tropical rainforests have large species of diversity. There are 5 to 10 million of insect species, while there can be more than 2 million species of flowering plants. Okay, in tropical rainforests. Ecosystem diversity. Ecosystem diversity refers to the biotic community. Biotic means living things. It include the flora and fauna and ecological process in the ecosystem on the lands, in the sea, and other aquatic environment. For example, there are ecosystems rich in biodiversity that can be found in the oceans, in the desert, or even in the swamp. Look at these diagrams. This is the biotic community live in the wetlands. This is the biotic community live in the swamp area, and this is the biotic community live in the forest. Okay, biotic include the flora and fauna. Phylogenetic tree. Phylogeny means the evolutionary history of a species or a group of organisms that are genetically linked. So this is the phylogenetic tree of land plants. The scientists believe that all the land plant is originate from the green algae. So the ancestor of land plant is the green algae. So a phylogenetic tree is a diagram that represents hypotheses on evolutionary relationship amongst a group of organisms. So phylogenetic classification is the classification system that shows the evolutionary relationship and history of the studied organisms. Phylogenetic tree. Evidence suggests that land plants evolved from green algae. First, land plants originate from non-vascular plants such as mosses, followed by seedless vascular plants such as ferns. Okay, this is moss and this is ferns. Okay, and then vascular plants then advance into gymnosperm and angiosperms. So gymnosperm is a non-flowering plants and angiosperm is flowering plants. So these vascular plants with seeds. Okay, so angiosperm are considered as the most successful plants since their seeds are enclosed inside the fruit to ensure the species survival. In phylogenetic classification is done using a homologous structure. Homologous structure refers to a structure which is body part or body anatomy that can be observed across multiple organisms which share the same ancestor even though The functions of the structure may differ from one organism to another. Figure below show the limbs of 4 animals, namely cat, humans, whale, and bat, which share the same bone structure but differ greatly in size and length and also the functions. Okay. Despite the differences in functions, it is clear that the limbs of the 4 animals originate from one common ancestor. The evolutionary relationship and history between different types of species can be depicted via the phylogenetic tree. The branches in the phylogenetic tree show how a species or a group of organisms diverge from the same ancestor. Look at these diagrams. These diagrams show the homologous structure in multiple organisms. They have different type of functions but originate from one common ancestor. The importance of biodiversity on the environments and humans. Biodiversity is important as a source of foods, medicines, and educations. Biodiversity also maintains a balance in nature for both recreation and scientific research. In Malaysia, there are 2 measures taken to preserving and conserving biodiversity: in situ and ex situ conservations. In situ conservations maintain a species in their natural habitat, such as national parks and the permanent forest reserve. And ex situ conservations is the effort to conserve species found outside of the natural habitat, such as in the zoo and botanical gardens. So Sapilok is example of ex situ conservations, and Taman Negara Bako is example of in situ conservations. Formative practice 8.2. Here are the questions. Question number 1. Explain ecosystem diversity, species diversity, and genetic diversity. The answer is ecosystem diversity refers to the biotic community and ecological process in ecosystems on the land, in the sea, and other aquatic environments. Species diversity refers to the variations and variability of organisms on Earth. Genetic diversity refers to the genes, variations of individuals within the populations, and the gene variation between different populations of the same species. Question number 2. Why do biologists use phylogenetic tree? The answer is to show the evolutionary relationship and history of biological species. Question number 3. What is your role in preserving and conserving biodiversity in Malaysia? The answer is by making structured and sustainable development plans so that forests are not cut down and deforestation does not occur. Avoid products made from animal hide or body parts that are thought to have medicinal value. Question number 4. State the importance of biodiversity toward humans. The answer is as a source of research and development, a sanctuary for wildlife and endemic life, to maintain environmental temperature, provide food to humans and animals, provide raw material for medicinal products to humans, generate income for the populations and the country. Okay, any 2 importance you can use. Okay, that's all for today. For next lesson, we're going to discuss about subtopic 8.3, microorganisms and viruses. Thank you. See you in next lesson. Bye-bye.